It is Anton back at the saddle as your host for BBSC and Boots, Scarves, and 21 Questions, Episode 7 today. The miniature version of Boots, Scarves, and 21 Questions with Stefan and Mustafa, the usual suspects, also known as the villains in Vanier, but...
And a gunner.
And a gunner. So 2 villains and a gunner now.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
So we've got a good set of questions lined up for you guys, as well as some announcements coming up, including our event happening next week. Anything that you want to get off your chest to start?
We'll talk club shop near the end, and yeah.
So just dive into questions?
Yeah, we always dive into questions, even if we don't know where the questions are.
Speaking of footy, we love diving. So let's get her to it, shall we? All right. So we've got a good random selection of questions, which I find to be a lot of fun. I know Stefan's already taken a good look at them. Mustafa's just mentioned to me that he didn't get the chance to, but that makes it even more fun.
Yeah, completely freewheeling today.
It's total freestyle, but I actually believe in this kid, so don't worry. I have no worries whatsoever. All right, so Stefan, I'll start off with you. Cardiff City has clinched first place in the championship, moving on to EPL next year. They already know that's happening, but can we name the next 2 teams to get their spots in?
Not really, because the way some people, when we talk promotion relegation, they think the top 3 teams move up. The problem is when you talk championship, the top 2 move up, and the next 4 have to have a playoff fight. So I'm looking at the table right now. Hull's in a good position to come back up. So we remember them, that one game we watched, so it's going to be good.
Sweet kids.
Yeah, but then you got Watford in 71, so they're going to make the playoff regardless. Yeah. But from Brighton down to Notts Forest.
Where's Notts?
They're in 8th. But so from 4th to 8th, there's 3 points dividing.
So there's a bunch of ties in there.
That playoff is going to be huge.
That's going to be a fight and a half.
Yeah.
And it's 3 to 6 that make playoffs, right?
No, only the top, next, 3 to 6.
Yeah.
So currently, right now.
So wait, top 2 get automatic?
Top 2 are.
Oh, I thought it was just 1. Okay.
No, top 2 are automatic. The next 4 are playoffs. So right now the playoff stands in Watford, Brighton, Crystal Palace, Leicester. Not Forest. They've been on a better run since I got rid of McUseless. So Bolton, they've been stagnant a bit. Crystal Palace, they were doing fine up till the new year, and then they pulled the Villa where they start going downhill. Leicester is always interesting. Watford, they're going to be in that playoff, but it's going to come down to can they hold on to it.
Right.
I'm pulling on for Brighton.
Okay.
Because they were in the playoff last year, and last year was they were just promoted to championship from League One. So I'm going for, as much as I'd hate to say it, another London team's coming up, Crystal Palace.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I love seeing the smaller clubs come up. Like last year, Southampton did it.
Yeah.
Hull and who was first there? Cardiff are through. From the rest, I'd love to see Watford in EPL next year, Brighton as well.
Cardiff, I'm going to look forward to next year for sure.
Yeah. Welsh Derby.
Yep, Forest.
With Swansea?
Oh, it'd be fun to see Notts Forest come.
Yeah. Yep.
Just for the Peter Pan references, I want to see Notts Forest come up.
No, I want to see Notts Forest come up and they go play Chelsea and just say, we got 2 cups. We got 2 cups. Where's your second one? Where's your to Chelsea? I just want them to come out and just do that to Chelsea. Just
away.
Yeah, exactly. Just to rub it into Chelsea. Even Man City. It would be great to see a team that won the Euro Champions League the old-fashioned way come up back-to-back and just rub it into the big clubs. Just
I'm giving kudos to the 2 teams that, well, Cardiff especially, who have already clinched, but to a shout out to Ryan, as we already mentioned, Crystal Palace, just for the name, Crystal Palace. It almost sounds gay enough that you just want to.
Yes.
Mind you, speaking of gays, El Captain John is part owner of Watford.
Oh. Here we go.
Speaking of games, and that's where Ashley Young.
I think it'd be great. I think it'd be
Dive ahoy.
Anyway.
Here we go.
That's actually not totally off topic, just so we know. We're getting better. Anyway, and I'm sorry to the listeners for my hoarse voice. I'm just coming off a cough and a cold, so I apologize. Second question coming up, Mustafa. Dealing with TFC.
Oh, God.
Yep. I told you it was going to be a random order. TFC has started off to a better start this year than last year, or at least most previous years.
Okay.
What do you think has changed? First of all, it's a three-part question. So first,
thankfully, we've come off to a better start this year than last year, because at this point last year we had a grand total of how many points exactly after 6 games?
A point, maybe.
No, we lost all. We were on 9 losses before we even got a top.
Yeah, we started off 0-9.
Oh, jeez.
So we had a grand total.
Mind you, Champions League, we had a better run, and then
as usual,
and Voyageurs Cup as usual.
Yeah. So what's changed, I guess. For me, coaching has changed. Obviously, Aaron Winter had the whole system in the 4-3-3. He had a lot of confidence from the players, but for me, he was always trying to put something in MLS that wasn't designed for MLS, and he didn't have the players for it either.
And we already saw that from MLSC when they brought him in.
Yeah.
If you watch the big news conference they had for when they introduced Winter, he really emphasized, the fact that he. Not necessarily being full of himself from being from the Netherlands and being European and knowing the system there, but trying to introduce, like you said, total football to TFC, and they made a huge point on that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just thought he came in with a lot of, I guess a lot of it was MLSC marketing spin. He didn't say everything that we think about his style, but he was trying a 4-3-3 system with players that just didn't have the talent for it, and that's what held him back for at least his time with TFC. He sort of deserved more time, but again, you start 0-9, you're asking for it, especially with MLSC. Yeah. So this year it's Ryan Nelson. He's sort of gone back to the old school, straight up MLS.
I think he's done a good job in mixing. Like we know him as being a European football player and being exposed to it, to the game as we see it should be.
Yep.
Not taking anything away from the other continents and countries. It's just we know the game is that. Yep. But mixing that with MLS style, North American style football, I think he's done a good job at mixing both. Trying to introduce again what Winter started, trying to continue with it still, but keeping with what the players know.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the problem with Winter. He just never had the talent to bring out his system. It was passing, possession style stuff, and he just never had the players there. Yeah, now the players he brought in were actually okay, but it was Mariners players that were more North American focused.
Did you notice anything remain the same?
We can't finish a game.
85th minute, there you go.
30 seconds to go.
Typical. They're starting to play like Villa.
Yeah.
And that's actually no lie. Yeah, it's no lie at all.
All right, game's almost done. We're in the lead. Yes. Crap.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if there's a fraction.
Stupid.
It is. Last night or yesterday against Houston. It was OD, right? He could have just kicked it out for a throw-in, game over. But he does something stupid, concedes a corner. There you go. Tie game.
It's probably a Toronto. It's
a Toronto thing. But I've been reading about a 90th minute complex for TFC. Yeah. Basically, go into the 90th minute with the lead. You just tighten up. You sort of see it coming.
Yep.
And there's a mental aspect.
Mind you, that it's also a Villa thing as well.
It's true. We know we constantly make references to Villa and TFC being this, and if you watch their matches, it's looking like carbon copies of one over the other.
We draw when we want.
Yeah, exactly.
Last year with the 0-9 start, they had the whole Titanic FC joke going.
Yeah, it's still going.
This year, they literally look like the Titanic. heck, they look good until the 85th minute.
Yeah.
Man, bye.
Yeah.
No, where they're gonna finish.
Oh, wait, I didn't ask that yet.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
That's
I
still
didn't.
coming. It's not banter this week.
Anyway, so for both of you, like, where do you think they're gonna end? The season's end. Are they going to be out of last place finally? You know.
Well, the problem with TFC, I think, is they've blown more points in the last 15 minutes than they actually have points right now. I'm pretty sure.
Although we can still say, and it's sad to say though, it's an improvement from last year.
Yes.
So
still 7 points better than last year.
Like the game against Dallas was coming back from 2 down. That was just amazing. You're like, okay, we have hope for this squad. We have hope.
We know that they can fight. We know we can. You know, they look like they're actually trying, but it's true. Like what we said, if you watch the players, it's weird how they're this amazing workhorse team for the first 75 to 80 minutes, and then the last few minutes to go, including extra time. There's something just...
No, this year looks just like the Prec year for Toronto FC, where they look good until the very end. Stuff always happens, and the reason they missed the playoffs by 1 point, I think. No, that was the year before Prec, but they did go through the cycle before winter where they were blowing a lot of points in the last few minutes. It always cost them playoff spots because you're always 2, 3, 4 points off, and if you just hold on, like last night's game, that's 2 points just thrown out the window. If you miss the playoffs by 1 point, well, you look at last night's game.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking the old table. I still haven't adjusted myself to the East and West conferences. I still
you love NASL.
Yeah, I like the old table system, so I'm putting them about 16, 17. They're going to be able to pull themselves up because Kansas is on a slide.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with them. I think Montreal.
They lost to LA yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah.
They
Montreal.
lost to TFC.
Yeah. Montreal's having this great start of the season, but I don't think they have the finishing power.
No.
They're showing their cards. You bring in a bunch of aging Italians to your defense, and yet the MLS is known for dump and chase, which is more strength to the young guns.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to keep up. Sorry, as much as people say, well, they're bringing all these great defenders. Yeah, doesn't matter how good you can kick the ball. If you can't get the ball, what's the point of having you on the team?
Right. Next question. So this website called Waking the Red, has reported tweets by Ambi Wambach and Alex Morgan of the U.S. women's national team, making comments about the quality. Get this, the quality of grass.
Well, they haven't been out to BC then.
the quality of grass to be played on in the World Cup 2015, hosted in Canada. Now, do you think they had the right to, just come out and?
I think they were complaining about the fact that it's all going to be on turf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's face it. Majority of the pitches played in the U.S. World Cup were on turf.
There you go.
And most of them were played at university and college fields. They weren't played at the NFL stadiums. So it's you know what? I hate to say it, it's chick soccer. The money isn't there. If it was a men's World Cup, you bet your ass there'd be grass going in every stadium right now.
Yeah.
The CSA will tell OSEG, listen, World Cup's coming, you're putting in grass or you're not getting any games.
Yeah.
And so what about the CFL? You could put AstroTurf over the real grass.
Yeah.
But you're putting in real grass.
I hope CSA's smart enough for that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's going to be when it comes to men's, because think of the money.
Yep.
But there are rights in bringing it up. They said, hold on. The rest of the world plays on grass. How come we have to play on turf? And she's kind of right in that, but again, it's the money isn't there.
But there's even you can't help but feel, being a local person from the country, that they're trying to suggest that we're not a good enough host.
Oh, that's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
It's a fair point, but coming from them, like I'd expect them to shut the fuck up when it comes to.
All I do is bring up the men's World Cup they had. There you go. Shut up.
Yeah.
You did the same thing. We're not that big of a country. We don't have the money you guys have. We don't concentrate on sports.
No, not soccer.
No.
I'm sorry, when you put in, as much money as they do into the Army, and then next in line is your sports, i.e. college teams, professional teams, whatever team.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I won't lie.
Canadian priorities are way different than that.
Yeah, we're more into let's try and build some technologies, or let's give $5 billion
let's fix a road or two,
Let's give some to Quebec as well.
Yeah.
In UEFA's Champions League, there are only 4 clubs that remain: Dortmund, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and Real Madrid. 2 from Spain, 2 from Germany.
Nice.
Now, to you, Stefan, does this signify anything?
Yeah. Italy and England, their youth systems have been failing for a long time. Their clubs are no longer interested in developing youth. They're just interested in making the money. But that's fair. The 2 top selling leagues in Europe is the English and the Italian.
Yeah.
So why do they care? The Germans are trying to prove their worth, so are the Spanish. So they're just building up their youth system. There's only one club in Germany that does not follow a youth program, and that's Bayern Munich. But until I think they're about 16, all these players, they may be signed by your Hanover, your Hamburg, your Hoffenheim, your Dusseldorf. But until you're 16, you won't play in this one big academy.
Yeah.
But that's 16 years of 10 years, not 10, maybe 7 years of playing together with these kids. So when it comes to World Cup, most of these kids know how to play with each other. They know their style.
Yeah.
And same thing with Spain. They have a good youth system. We talked about this last banter that went off the rails. Last Boots and Scarves, but again, it's the youth system. It's coming out that you can pay all the money in the world you want for these players, but if they're not going to perform on the field.
No, it's true. And Barcelona, you look at them, they're a massive youth system.
Yeah, when did Messi join? When he was like
12.
Yeah. And that's why he can play well with Xavi.
So having 2 German teams and 2 Spanish teams, does that mean anything to you at all?
Well, it's interesting
if you're comparing it to others.
It's interesting that the leagues that sort of buy their players don't get results in Europe, whereas the ones that develop do. So it's sort of an argument for chemistry over money.
Yeah.
Well, the money thing, we're perfect at it here in North America.
Yeah.
We're perfect at it, but you can put in as much money as you want. To me, if you don't actually develop players into becoming good quality players who, not only are workhorses but produce results.
Yeah.
To me, that's the most basic thing, because the point of the game, like most, is to have put the ball in their net more often than they do yours.
That's all.
And that's it. That's the bottom.
Well, if money mattered, the U.S. would win every World Cup.
Well,
they drop them. Well, I don't know. Qatar and Dubai might have something to say about that.
Well, then they'd have to do it to
even
FIFA.
against the Chinese.
Yeah. No, it's again, it's just building up that chemistry and I don't know if you saw this, but Villa winning the Next Generation series.
Yep.
Okay, we went against Chelsea, but it's all the youth clubs.
Yeah.
The English youth clubs are doing great.
Yeah.
But as soon as they get better, teams will be able to snap them up, especially teams like Villa and Chelsea, because Chelsea has to cough up money for fair play coming up, financial fair play.
Yeah.
Abramovich can no longer invest that much billions of dollars without showing he's connected somehow to something. Well, let's face it, you can't fire that many coaches and not be that far in debt.
Yeah.
There is a connection somewhere. Yeah. So Lerner we all know Lerner wants to sell Villa. He's not making the money he thought he would. And he's had to pay for a costly divorce, so I wonder how. So that's the thing. He took out loans.
That's the American way.
Yeah. Took out loans to buy Villa, so he's trying to pay him back. Why do you think we no longer have Barry, Milner, Young, Downing?
Yeah.
Why do you think we don't have any of our good players?
You can even argue for Heskey. He was starting to become a good player. We liked him for a while, and then all of a sudden, the next season, there's this turnaround, and then it went sour.
Yeah. O'Neill knew how to motivate. But anyways, again, it's just getting that chemistry built up and going strong. That's
absolutely. I agree.
I was surprised about Madrid being there, because right now in the Spanish league, how far down are they from first? They're something like third or fourth, aren't they?
They're not doing as strong as.
So I guess for Madrid,
it's champions. They're pulling a Chelsea. We're only looking at champions.
Yes, screw the league, go for champions.
Yeah.
Spain, how many? They get 4 spots, right? Three.
Yeah.
So I guess they have to finish top 3 to not be embarrassed.
They get 3, and I guess a playoff for the 4th.
Okay. All right. So they should be safe to make it next year.
Yeah.
I just like the simple English way. You got if you finish 4, you get it. Like
because it's so screwed up now. I just want the old-fashioned way back. Let's keep it nice and simple.
No, I understand. Yeah, if you finish first, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all next. Yeah, you get shitty teams in,
but I think there'd be an even bigger fight for first at that point. Not like how Man U is looking right now with this huge ass lead they have over Man City.
Can you picture like a knockout round between Shakhtar Donetsk and Shamrock Rovers from Ireland?
That'd be great.
That would be amazing. Riots in the street in both countries. And it would be just after last call.
Or final whistle, doesn't matter.
Yeah. In the end, someone's going to the hospital.
So now we were talking about rankings. Promotions and relegations are happening left, right, and center all over the planet, except of course in North America, because we still believe in playoffs.
Yep.
Now, Mustafa, do you believe that the world, like the quote-unquote world's culture of football, is going to actually make its presence in North America one day, with MLS, USL, NASL, etc.?
And promotion relegation?
Yeah.
No, not anytime soon, because this has been talked about in depth, obviously. First of all, MLS, NASL, and USL Pro are 3 separate leagues. You have to get them all to agree. MLS clubs, there's a bunch of reasons why they'll never do it. One, they paid the huge expansion fee to get into MLS. They want security in MLS. There's the argument that major cities in MLS only have 1 team usually. In Europe, London will have 6 or 7 teams. So if Toronto goes down, MLS loses the entire Toronto market. Let's face it, Toronto would be playing in a Walmart parking lot by now.
With the monkey.
And it still would be relegated.
So there's... short answer, no, not anytime soon. Although MLS might create an MLS 2 one day.
Yeah, that is...
I think that would actually... I'm sorry, I know I'm not totally for MLS football other than the Canadian teams, but to have a second, like you're saying, MLS 2, I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
I honestly think that'd be awesome.
All we have to worry about... I think they're trying to make that with the USL doing the farm team system. But...
Well, they already signed a contract for it, didn't they?
It is possible. You just have to convince the owners that it will be worth their money. It's going to say, listen, if you win, you get money. You lose, this is the price you pay for putting shit on the field. So you're no longer have an MLSC. You're no longer going to have Kraft running New England. So, okay, whatever, we have no fears.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now it's shit. It's halfway through the season. We're 20 points behind the relegations. What the fuck happened? We need to do a turnaround.
Yeah.
They're going to worry about the product on the field constantly.
And, I mean, look at the championship. I mean, for the listeners, Stefan has always emphasized to me that the championship is out of the 4 divisions is actually the toughest one because you got 24 teams instead of 20 in the Premiership, and like the other 2.
Yeah.
And then no one wants to go any lower.
No.
And everybody's clawing tooth and nail. Like, we're looking at the first 6 teams, first 7 teams right now in the standings. And they're all, like, what did you say? There's 3-point separation between third
That's
and insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah. But also, what happens when you get relegated? The Premier League gives you parachute money, it's called. So you're probably given 20 million quid to try and keep you, to fight back, to get back in the league. They don't just send you down and say goodbye.
No.
They say, no, here, try to get back up. You saw how much money you made up here. It's about the spirit of competition. the U.S. likes the competition as long as the competition they want.
Yeah.
But they're stable. Their clubs are stable there usually. The clubs will still get support if they go down. Here you can't say that. You can't. Like FC Dallas goes down, they're done.
Yeah, they're done. It's because, as you said, you look at London. I think there's about 23 teams in the London area. That's in the 4 leagues. Forget the conferences. Forget the beer leagues, the Sunday leagues. Forget about those. We're just talking about the top 4. So it's all about, like, the USL is starting to develop its own supporters group. Pittsburgh, they got a nice little small stadium, beautiful for what they need.
Yeah.
So it's slowly coming around that these USL teams, NASL teams, they're all looking like we want our own real field. Tampa Bay's looking to pulling what Portland did, building a real stadium around that diamond. The problem is that baseball diamond is a Yankees farm team.
Yeah.
So they got to find a new home for the Yankees farm team or a new home for themselves.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of money to invest in that.
Yeah.
But they're looking at it, and that's the amazing thing.
And I agree, because I see NASL and their teams, following them on Twitter and on Facebook. The amount of promotion they do for themselves is amazing. And then on top of that, the generation, the momentum generation that they're getting with the fans and going to the games, and really. To me, like Stefan always talks about, American sports is very raw, whereas NASL, they're not in that boat, but they do hype it up.
Yeah, they do.
But they do a good job at it, and I think it's great.
I think they're Div 2 right now. I think they sort of want to be like a 1B to MLS instead of strictly Div 2.
Yeah.
And the whole MLS, a big question for them is where they stop expansion if you want to do the whole promotion relegation.
Yeah.
They've said 20 before. Let's face it, they're not going to stop at 20.
Done it.
Now they're saying 24. But
that's doable. Turkey's 24.
What may end up happening though is they may actually go to 32. That's what they want. That's like from their perspective, screw FIFA, screw everything we've said.
Yeah.
Future-wise, they're probably looking at 32. If you have 32, then you can introduce relegation.
Yeah, that's another good point. The problem is though, after 24, your logistics.
After 24, you start seeing NHL scheduling.
Yeah, exactly.
But what major logistics are you looking at, though?
We're looking about planning the games, because now they're
scheduling.
Yeah, because look at they still base all their schedules on the TV times.
Yep.
With their broadcast providers. Yeah, NBC's on board, so is TSN.
But we know. Okay, if we're I'm sorry for cutting you off. It's just if we're only looking at the aspect of TV, MLS obviously is going to get the rights to all the major shit that we get.
Yeah.
Whereas any league like USL Pro and NASL, those teams, the only way you're going to get to watch them is on your local cable channel.
Yeah, and even then, that's going to be a pain in the ass.
CBCSports.ca.
Yeah. But no.
Thank you, CBC.
Yeah, but LA, right there.
Yeah.
They shared a stadium with Chivas. Mm-hmm. Like right there, that should be a red flag to the MLS going, okay, they make fun of the teams in Italy. Inter and AC share the same stadium. Roma and who else share the same stadium? Roma shares a stadium with its rival.
You're kidding.
Yeah. And they're made fun of for that. Yeah.
Oh,
so whenever I see an Inter or AC fan, it's just me going, you don't even have your own pitch.
At least we have Villa Park.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't moved. No, but...
And BMO Field.
No, there's going to be a lot of logistics, because you're going to get the players complaining about being jet lagged from going from one side of the country to the other.
Yeah, that happens a lot with European players.
Come to think of it, so you're mentioning there's all these teams where there's 2 teams sharing one field.
Yeah.
Whereas Vancouver is the only one in Canada that has a field, because Toronto and Montreal technically have 2.
Yeah.
Because they use the old baseball stadiums.
Yeah. You might as well. Like, I'm sorry, I would still love to see people play in Montreal when it's -5, -10.
I would love to.
When the MLS Cup was in Toronto, I loved seeing it because...
I'm sorry, if you've ever seen, was it Goal 2 or Goal?
Goal 2.
Where they go to Norway.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're playing in the snow.
Oh, yeah. Sort of like the American Blizzard game they had a while back.
And that wasn't... I'm going to say this. If it was MLS running that game, they would have postponed it right away.
They would have.
That was ballsy from the U.S. Soccer Federation.
It was FIFA, wasn't it?
Both.
Okay. Because it can't be the U.S. Soccer Federation. It's their team playing.
Yeah, but let's face it. U.S. is used to cold. Costa Rica isn't.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll take our advantage.
I think at the end of the day, that was the ref's decision at the start of the game.
Yeah, it was ref.
So
what was the original question for
this? So we're not going to see any promotion relegation
anytime soon. No.
We're good with the fact that NASL and USL Pro, they're putting out good quality second tier soccer to MLS.
Second, third, they're putting out good.
They're getting
What's good about NASL is they're going for markets that are not big enough for MLS, but still decent markets.
They're strong enough markets.
I think it's looking great.
Yeah.
I'm even more stoked.
And Ottawa is actually a prime example.
Yeah, it is a prime example because right now we got the kids that still play it a lot. They don't have the money yet, but if you can keep NASL and Ottawa for another 10 years, those kids will have the money to start attending the games. Yeah. And that's what you need to do. You need to get them when they're young and hope you can keep on to them when they start making money.
Yeah. So all those kids who join us at Fury Games?
Yeah, 10 years time. Make sure you get a job when you turn 16.
And don't forget us.
Yeah.
Remember who you stood with.
Yeah. So. I don't want to be in my 40s still being the president of the group. Okay, somebody, come on.
All right, so now that we've finished the fans portion of the questions, we're moving on to Street Soccer Ottawa's Shannon and Melissa's questions, the ones that we didn't get to last time. So I figured, why not tack them on today? First off, a really simple one that they wanted to ask. Is Christine Sinclair Canada's best soccer player?
Yes.
That's a very loaded question. Because you say no, you're going to be dubbed sexist.
No, okay. If we're including,
I thought you meant women's.
No. If we're including guys and girls together, just on skill.
Okay.
Is she number one?
It's a really loaded question.
Yeah, I don't think she's that amazing. She's great. Don't get me wrong, but
I think she's great.
She's an amazing leader.
She's an amazing leader. She's an amazing striker. She produces goals.
Style as Dero.
But what I love is that she not only scores goals, but she sets up plays nicely.
Yeah.
If you watch the Olympics, the passing that she...
Yeah. I'm going to say something bold and say she's as good as Atiba Hutchinson and Wendy Rosario. But the competition they face is much different than the competition she faces.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the difference.
But you know what?
We're comparing apples to oranges.
No, I know, but that's the question. I'm doing this for...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they'd give me dirty looks right now, and I'd still tell it. It's a loaded question.
You just get slapped on the arm and then conned for fries later.
Yeah, exactly. We'll blame Melissa for that one. Yeah. No, it's such a loaded question.
Well, I think off the pitch, CSA marketing tool-wise, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
On the pitch, no.
No.
So, speaking of which...
If the CSA is smart, they should do a fundraiser game. Men's versus women's.
I think that'd be cool. Yeah. I honestly would think that'd be interesting.
Good money maker.
Well, if the CSA was smart, the women would have had a home game.
Who would you cheer for?
Yeah, that's...
I'd cheer for both sides. I don't care who scores
goals.
You
just do the ooh-ah Canada. Do that the full 90 minutes, and no one knows who you cheer.
Exactly.
But fine. It'd be great.
Yeah. So the next one now, MLS. I don't know if you've seen the ads. I'm sure you have, Mustafa. But MLS has what they call MLS Works. Oh. It's a program also known as Don't Cross the Line program, making the efforts to promote fair play among any and every person playing the beautiful game. This program, when you look it up, asks people to take the pledge, i.e. no bullying in any way, shape, or form. So this includes racism, sexism, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yep. Okay? Against gays.
Exactly, everything. So do you think this program can and or will make a difference?
Yeah, of course. Doesn't the NHL have something like it?
No.
No?
They don't.
No, they don't.
They encourage people to hit each other.
That's true.
All right. I was thinking hockey fights cancer, I think. But anyway, yeah, no.
Well, hockey fights cancer, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, but when we're talking about literally fair play in the sport.
Yes, it does
and accepting each other as we are, but we are there to support each other as players because, you know, you bring a good skill set, but I don't care where you're from or what religion you practice, what your sexual preference is, everything.
No, I think it does for two reasons, because the players are in it, and because...
and the main face in the commercial is De Rosario.
True. Actually, I follow De Rosario on Facebook. That's half the reason I know this charity. He's pretty big into it.
Yep.
So yeah, the players are in, and the MLS union, I think, is in as well.
Yep.
And as long as you have your players and their union, obviously, in North America, it's going to work, because you always, for anything, you need support, especially for something like this. If it's just a league mandating events and things like that, then no, it would just be a league thing. But because the players buy into it, they support it like Dero does. He's always got the, what is it called again? Anyway,
MLS Works.
MLS Works. Yeah,
Yep.
he's always talking about it, supporting it. His clinics, he always has the logo there for it as well. It's a great initiative.
You see it during MLS matches, when you know the
don't
sideboards.
cross lines already.
Yeah. No, it's a great initiative.
No.
No?
You don't think it's going to make a difference?
Where's the major marketing ads aimed at? It's the States, right? This is they recently came out with Don't Cross the Line with the player retiring because he came out of the closet. This is a country where their Senate said, more or less, so people are going, thank you for protecting us from gay people marrying. It's until the country, the politics are behind this.
Yeah.
No one's going to be behind it.
That's the key thing. Your people have to be behind it.
And it's good that they're working on it. I appreciate that. I like it. I encourage it. But in the end, it's...
Excuse me.
Why is the league telling you to be a good person? Why aren't your parents hitting you upside the head when you're being a dick?
Yeah.
It's again, why do other people have to parent your kids again? That's where I'm seeing this from. It's just me going... Yes, I know. We see all this anti-bullying stuff. It's no longer bullying. It's a new form of bullying. That's not bullying. It's more harassment now.
Yeah.
It's no longer bullying. Bullying used to be calling Anton a ginger and being mean about it.
Well, I mean, when I grew up, bullying was, literally picking fights with kids that were like defenseless.
Yeah, that's what was bullying was back in our day.
But now it's blown up to this whole thing. And
you don't know what it is anymore. So.
No.
Well, in the league, it's the players that people look at, not the office.
Yeah.
For me, as long as you get your star players in at least, every charity they do, every media event they're at least have the logo somewhere, then people, at least kids in the country, look at it and... It's the kids you want to market this at.
Yeah,
let's face it.
Well, start them young, right?
Yeah, but again, you don't see the NFL doing it or the NBA.
No. Well, the NFL can...
NFL, NBA, NHL, they're more, like you said, it's more towards anti-cancer, anti-AIDS.
Yeah.
More actual diseases.
Yeah.
Rather than...
the human condition?
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, let's face it. Look at most of the Look at where the real anti-gay, the anti-racist things come out from. It's hit country. Guess what? Hit country don't have footy teams.
Nope. Well, what they call footy teams.
Yeah.
Football.
They got pussy rugby.
So to follow up, now let's say we have the example in Europe where I don't know if you see them. To this day, they still have ads in games where it says, say no to racism.
Yeah,
it's all specifically to anti-racism.
Yeah.
Now, let's say the program is successful and MLS works. Now, do you think you're going to ever see something similar, parallel to that program in Europe or around the world in other leagues?
Well, Europe does have the whole say no to racism, don't they? Or is that FIFA-wide?
Yeah,
that's FIFA-wide,
That's
right?
FIFA-wide.
I like seeing them at the games because when you watch the games, it just sends the right message.
It's more or less against the chants that come out here and there.
Okay.
But it's...
Well, especially, I'm sorry to say, Germany.
Yeah, it's saying that Germany, it's actually really more aimed at Eastern Europe.
And Turkey.
Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more or less aimed at Eastern Europe. The Western Europeans, fine, whatever. You're black, I don't care. You're scoring goals for my team? Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of like, the dude in goal who was cheering for Newcastle.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're on the team. The guy's from Mexico. He's like, we can get all that. We need the help, but we can get. Please.
I'm here for a job for Newcastle. Hold on a moment. So and so. This gentleman wants to play for your team. For Newcastle, we know all the help we can get.
Exactly.
Approved, get in the country.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Exactly.
They don't care.
Yeah.
And it's just, but Europe's had the influx of immigrants for ages.
Yeah, so they're more.
England bringing your slaves back from Jamaica from the colonies because they knew exactly how you liked your stuff. Where am I going to get rid of somebody I've trained? They know how I like how much burnt toast I like. Exactly the ratio to burnt. Like
how many grains of sugar in the tea.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they know how to make the exact size of the sugar cube. They know how to judge everything. They know how to make my gin and tonics. They know what kind of wine.
You know what? These people aren't slaves. They're civil just like me.
Yeah. Well, the Russell Peters joke when the English were leaving India.
Yeah.
And they said, and they're going, hold on, you can't leave. Where are you going? We're going in. You have to take us. No. Well, what will you eat? They came, they settled. They're used to it. Europe's used to it, so they don't really care about it.
Right.
The gay, lesbian thing, that's slowly just getting, fuck it. We don't care anymore.
Yep.
It's North America. It's still a big issue because, let's face it, we're still not evolved enough for it.
Oh, hell no.
A lot of us are.
I am seeing
major things.
I am
the ones that control it aren't evolved.
Well, you're right. Like, if we're going to talk, like corporate clowns.
Yeah.
They haven't. But most regular Joe Schmoes I come across, most are more accepting now.
Yeah, they're like, who cares?
Let me get up to the next question here. Okay, totally new topic. So if the World Cup were to start this summer, who's the top flight American? American team. Sorry. If the World Cup were to start this summer, who's the top African team?
Stefan?
Nigeria. They're coming off their World Africa Cup. Also, Ivory Coast is not doing that well anymore. Egypt's no longer back to their form.
Egypt is similar to, I'll say, Arsenal.
Yeah.
They look good till the end.
Yeah. South Africa's kind of dropped again.
Oh, South Africa never really got off that high.
No, they dropped.
I know this is stupid to ask, but Egypt has footy?
Yeah.
They had. Well, their national team's in FIFA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
They won
Just because they're rich.
Yeah. They won their Africa Cup.
They always win their Africa Cup of Nations.
Yeah,
they win it a lot. But when it comes to World Cup qualifying,
they can't do it.
No.
Algeria kicked them out.
Yeah.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, vive la Algérie. I love that one.
That one's great. But no, they're the team I would bank on going through. Yeah, they have their racist problem.
I think a lot of.
Yeah, but they're the opposite racism. They're blacks over whites.
Oh.
Yeah.
When my grandfather used to work there for Dunlop Tires, whites were not allowed to drive. He had to have a chauffeur to get to work.
I take a chauffeur.
So which country do you think it'd be?
Oh, Africa's interesting. Personally, I follow them for their big tournaments. Ivory Coast is always up there.
Yeah, but
they've dropped.
Yeah.
Well, mind you, I know a couple guys who just came from Ivory Coast, and I asked them, and they noticed my footy gear.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what about Ivory Coast? What about soccer in Africa? And they're all saying, no, it's crap, it's garbage.
But their national team is all right.
Yeah.
What about Ghana?
Ghana, they couldn't do.
Ghana's good.
They can impose something again, but it's just we're talking about right now. They're riding off the high. The confidence is up, and that's.
And let's not forget South Africa.
No.
You just said they dropped.
I missed the name. Sorry.
Yeah, they.
Because I'm sorry.
They left the tournament in the group stages.
No, I know.
Cup.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and they were hosts. Mind you, because Libya could host.
Okay.
Everyone showed up to the match and it was a bang.
Too soon, bro. Too soon. Too soon. No.
3 days has passed. It's 3 months or 3 days, right? Either or. The
Plus
time
3
allotted.
months, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the time allotted has passed.
You know what's really weird though? Every Boston team actually has a different slogan for a different patch that they wear on their uniform. It's not the same one across the board. It's like the NBA team, the hockey team, and the baseball team all have their own version of it.
And then you have the New England Revolution.
Yeah,
Which is just
that's true.
sad.
Although I liked Chicago's Tribune, their
Yeah.
newspaper front page. We are Chicago Celtics. We are Chicago Blackhawks. We are not Bruins.
Yeah.
We are Chicago Revolution and Red Sox. I'm thinking, hey, good on them. All right, so thank you once again to Shannon and Melissa for that set of questions. Now we're going to go to my crappy set, the last three. We all know that Manchester United will win the leagues by season's end. They've got such a clear I mean, there's only a few games to go.
If they beat Villa, they win the league.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're going top flight. So basically, here's the question: who are the 3 teams that are going to finish behind them to join them in Champions League next year?
Not Arsenal, I'm guessing.
That one's going to be tough because Arsenal's good at being able to get into Champions League. They know how to do it for some odd reason.
I know Tottenham's getting in there.
Yeah, Tottenham's had a good year.
They're in 5th right now, but hold on, I'm just pulling up this.
City, Chelsea, who else?
Let's see.
Chelsea should be good to do.
From Man City down to Spurs, it's 68 to 58 points.
And I see Arsenal in 3rd there.
Yeah, Arsenal's in 3rd with 60.
Arsenal went all the way down to about 7th or so.
Yeah, and they pulled up.
Yeah. So a typical year.
Where's Team Anfield?
Team Anfield is 6 points behind Everton, their
The
rival.
EPL Reds.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're in 7th. No, but that's gonna be. I don't think Chelsea can do it. I really don't think they can do it.
Where are they sitting right now?
They're in 4th, but they're 3 points ahead of Spurs. But
Spurs are coming on strong.
Spurs
Well, it
coming
would be
back.
cool to see them in Champions League next year.
Yeah, Spurs coming back from 1-0 to win at 3-1 today. 3 goals in the second half. Chelsea was leading Liverpool, and they drew. Okay, today's game you can debate about as far as his bite, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, and let's face it, Benitez doesn't give a shit because he knows he's going to be replaced.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like it, so he's just going to turn around and say, fuck you to his grounders and put a shitty player, play a shitty system, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
No, he doesn't care.
No. So who are you thinking?
I was surprised to see Arsenal there in 2nd, so why not
Third.
put them through 3rd?
Yeah.
City looks like they have it in 2nd, and it's expected they get it.
Unless they really screw it up.
Who's getting that 4th spot then?
4th spot, I guess, because Everton has 56 now, only, 5 behind? So they're still in it, but doesn't look like anyone's going to contend. It's going to be Chelsea or Tottenham.
Yeah,
I'm going with Spurs too.
I don't want to see Chelsea in Europe. They don't deserve it.
How many more buses are going to be rented?
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to see their bus style play again. Someone just take an RPG and blow them. Yeah.
Go Gears of War on them.
Yeah.
Now into local stuff. FC Gatineau is set to make their home debut on May 10th, 2013 at Mont Bleu. That's the name of their pitch.
May 10th
Nice.
or is it 18th?
That's not a bad name.
I checked it today. It said 10th.
That's their home game.
Home opener.
No, that's season opener, isn't it?
No, season openers earlier. I checked today.
All right. Yeah.
I legit checked hours before this podcast was aired and recorded.
Well, their home opener was the start time, 8:30
Something like
on
that.
a Friday night.
Anyway,
you want 2 fans to show up to your home opener? Well, there you go.
Oh, hey. So, home opener at Mont Bleu, that's the name of their home pitch, versus FC L'Assomption. Yes, L'Assomption, Quebec. That's an actual town.
Near Montreal.
Yep. And if BBFC were to make its presence to show support, what should be our first chant?
Similar to Danny Dicchio. Oh, Gatineau.
FC Gatineau, FC Gatineau, FC Gatineau. I think that would be awesome. Okay, there's a good pick.
I'm going with the one that we always seem to get the crowd in on is the Yankee Doodle one.
Okay.
But Gatineau, allez l'équipe en bleu, Gatineau's blanc et bleu. and then we do Yankee Doodle.
Yeah.
Easy to follow. No one needs to catch a tune because it's a yell repeat chant.
Yeah.
We discussed the physics and the
logistics.
Everything about it. We've talked about how it works, why it works, and it's simple.
You know, it's good if we discuss the physics of something.
Yeah. The ball will hit him here based on the trajectory from the angle and the speed and the air velocity and the rate due to gravity.
Speaking of which, ESPN actually has Sports Science. It's a segment during their Sports Center, which sometimes Sports Center on TSN airs, and basically explaining the science of, like when an athlete's running or when they're striking the ball or making a slap shot or something.
Yeah.
They actually get into nitty-gritty.
Oh, there's a lot of science. And the athletes are in it too.
And they still can't figure out how come David Beckham knows the precise angle to hit that ball.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
No, that is interesting for Beckham.
I mean, we even saw this thing where they were comparing Princess Ronaldo and there's a famous sprinter, might have been Usain Bolt actually, I'm not 100% sure, but they were comparing these two top flight athletes in their own sport, comparing what they can do.
Yep.
And the results were actually kind of astounding, like how, technique and et cetera, et cetera.
Did you guys hear that Usain Bolt's a Man U stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. There was a picture of him taken with him and Fergie.
Well, if he was in FIFA 13, just zero everything, pace 99.
Yeah, that's what it would be. Fastest player on the pitch. But here's the thing, he's not an endurance runner. The longest he runs is 400.
Yeah.
He couldn't survive at a game.
No, he wouldn't. He'd be subbed off
Wait,
at the 20th
90
minute.
minutes? And if he paced it, I mean, half the time, I'm sorry to say, half the time they're only sprinting whenever they get the damn ball.
Yeah.
Or if they're running with the guy who has
It's
the
because
ball.
they have to sort of calculate when.
Because, and the rest of the time, they're fucking walking.
Well, remember Jacob from school? He was an endurance runner. He could not sprint to save his life.
Oh, that's true.
If you're an endurance...
In school, I was always the, 1,500 guy, but to run 100, I don't know.
No, exactly. It's all... If you're an endurance runner, you're not going to be a sprinter and vice versa.
Yeah.
That's why people are amazed at Gabby and Young when they get going. They're amazing speed because endurance runners tend not to have that acceleration. And these guys do, and that's what's amazing about them.
Final question of the day. NASL has finally begun its season this year with only 2 to 3 games played per team.
After one game, it was all draws. Everyone had 1 point.
So far, now FC Edmonton finds themselves in 6th at the moment. Now, do you think they're going to improve from that? Remain the same? Do you have any predictions for this team? Being the lone Canadian team, this is why I ask about them.
I'll say something about that lone Canadian team in a second, but I saw highlights of their game against someone. I don't remember who.
Railhawks? Because the Railhawks from Carolina are number 1 right now.
I think it may have been Railhawks. Anyway, it was they seemed decent, slightly disorganized. Still, it's a young season. It wasn't the highest quality game ever, but...
we're not expecting much for NASL.
No. Oh, I see them mid-table.
Yeah, they're going to finish mid-table, but here's the thing, there's only 7 right now, so I see them maybe...
Only 7.
They're going to finish 5th.
And there's going to be
because
4 more teams added.
They signed a whole bunch of new players, they have a new coaching system in it.
Yeah.
So the next season,
they
next
played
half...
MUFC yesterday, I think.
Yeah. So the next half of the season, you'll see them become a bit stronger. Right. Then you're going to see more teams. You're going to have New York and New York and Puerto Rico in it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be different. That's going to be.
And then us
honestly,
the year after.
Us in Virginia.
NASL is going to be killer times.
2015 for Indy, right?
No, they're 2014 like us.
Nice. So 3
So by the time us and Indy join, then we're going to have our full 11 right there.
Plus Virginia.
Yeah.
What, Virginia's 12?
No, Indy was number 12.
So we're going to have
11.
I thought we were only going to have 11 teams.
Yeah.
We're going to have 11 home games. And so that means we're going to have minimum 22 home games.
Now, this is probably complete BS, but some rumblings that a new Canadian team may be announced in the next week and a half or so.
Yeah.
Speculations?
Speculations, probably completely stupid and unfounded, but outside chance that we may have a Canadian club soon.
Yeah.
No speculation as to where.
As to where? they're saying Calgary or outside chance of Hamilton.
And Stefan was just calling that while I was talking to him on the phone.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why I'm saying Calgary or Hamilton, it's a rival team. Let's face it, you want to make some money, you throw it where there's population and a team to play against.
Yeah.
Like
there was
I think Calgary would be the prime place to put a squad.
It is, but a bunch of people said they're not that big of a soccer area.
Edmonton is barely supported.
Exactly, and it's, again, if it goes to Calgary, the thing that's going to make it big is the Edmonton supporters make the treks down to Calgary.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to show up in Calgary and shut them up. That's why I think our group will grow if we get in the Voyageurs Cup and get a Montreal or get a Toronto.
We have to get a Montreal, that would be epic.
No, the Montreal would be preferable because the Montreal fans coming into our house and showing us
and
up.
And for us, it's what, a 2-hour drive?
Exactly. Them coming and showing us up will make Ottawa fans are stubborn to cheer for, but when somebody else comes into their house, that's when they'll show up.
Yeah.
You see more passion from Sens fans at Leafs and Habs.
Even City when White Eagles came in.
Yeah, when the drunken Serbians straight up.
Oh, that massive stupid flag.
That one was cool. I kind of liked it. It was amazing, but it was a Russian flag. It wasn't a Serbian flag, which was.
And that was the prequel to This Is Russia.
Yeah, they thought they could do it to us, and we said, no, go away. We don't like you.
So that wraps up the 21 questions part with only 12 questions today. Again, thank you to Shannon and Melissa for their input, and Stefan as well. I'm not going to thank myself, but I will.
Well, thanks, Anton.
No problem. And so now we've got some announcements to make. Stefan?
Well, our T-shirts have been looked into and are kind of backed up at the shop. So that one, so
we are sorry.
Yeah, the third place prize for the event is going to be an IOU T-shirt.
All right, fair enough.
Just give us your number and contact info. We'll be glad to call you up.
Yeah, we'll say, yep, your shirts are in.
If you have any other further questions or concerns, feel free to give us a call back.
Your call is important to us.
This is what I say at work, by the way.
No, but the event's coming up. I'd like to thank Graham for mentioning it on Team 1200. And he did it at the start of the show as well.
Thank you, Graham, very much.
He didn't do it at the end. He did it at the start. Richard Staunch talked a bit about the event. He kind of liked about it. Talked a bit about the charity we're doing it for. So, honestly, guys, come out, meet us. We're having a supporters meeting after the event.
And it ends at a
bar.
Oh.
Yes. And this meeting's our start of season meeting. Yeah. So for me, it means I've been here for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the first time I met you guys was last year's start of year thing.
Tickets haven't been printed yet for Fury.
No?
So,
no, I was curious about it.
So if people want to buy the packages at that meeting, bring the money. Again, we'll write you a receipt. And then Graham will get us the tickets. And when he gets it in, we'll have a big night. Again, we'll try and schedule something. Here's the receipts of who owes you a ticket. Okay, Graham gets money. Okay. Jane Doe. Here you are. Here's your tickets.
And believe me, we're really good at keeping track. So, like Stefan said, just we'll notify everybody. What is it? $50 for the pack?
For the full pack. That's scarf.
So if you want a scarf, women's tickets and men's tickets all together, it's $50. If you want either or, as in just men's or just women's, it's $20. Yeah.
Yeah. If you just want just PDL or W League, it's $20.
No,
more or less
you may actually be able to cross tickets.
Yeah. They're doing.
So if you buy the men's, you have 7 games, but you may get into a women's game anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know I won't be going to 2 of the men's PDL games, second and third one, because I'm heading down to Toronto for that massive game.
You know, we should have a banner by Town Boys in Toronto for the 2 games.
Something. Yeah. Something.
Bytown Boys support Canada.
Yeah. All right, so we've got Fury stuff, the event coming up, including our first Bytown Boys meeting of the season. You know, prequel to PDL start.
Yep.
/ W League. We also want to make a presence, like I said earlier, at the FC Gatineau home opener.
I'll be making up an event
All right, I'll tag along, even though it's a terrible start time. FC Gat.
I actually posted on FC Gatineau's wall asking why so late. Only available time.
Oh, for... No.
It's a shared field.
Yeah, and then...
We're in North America.
Yeah, it's just one of those things of, really?
It's basically a neighborhood field.
Yeah, you guys...
With like 5 bleachers.
But I love the fact that it's called Mont Bleu.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Blue moon,
Fury
left
had
me
to,
standing alone.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been listening to all these songs.
Hey, it makes soccer chants. It's fun. Anyway,
Fury have 2 friendlies in early May.
11th and 19th.
Yeah, against decent clubs too. One from, where is it? One club from the U.S. somewhere that's looking to join an ASL eventually.
Oh, the Oklahoma Villa team?
No, some club in Boston, I think, or New England.
Yeah, New England. I want the Oklahoma Villa team to come to Ottawa.
Yeah. In any case,
just so I can.
They're going to be
your
decent
owner
club.
Is a
yeah, good chance that that game will be free admission, so you may as well show up and help us.
Yeah, we're going to get more details on that as it gets closer. So.
Yeah.
Please keep your ears wide open.
Yeah, we'll try to post this. I had technical difficulties last time. My computer was being a dick.
I thought it died.
It's dying. It's
the podcast.
No. It probably should have died personally, but that's another.
I'm sorry, it died that gong show.
It was number 13. Well, 13,
Lucky 13.
Lucky 13 came up like 13 days after it was originally.
Yeah, it was nice.
Still haven't listened, but I will.
Any other announcements?
Not that we know of anytime soon.
So we can wrap it up?
If you want to.
Okay. I'm just making sure. So thanks again, Stefan and Mustafa, for coming here and
come to our event.
And yes, please. We only got a week to go, so there's still time to register, even on the day of. It's the 27th. What time?
At noon. Show up at noon, between noon and 12:30. Show up, we'll register you, and you're off and running.
And it's at De La Salle High School downtown.
You'll see our flag.
Yes, and us.
Hopefully us.
Yeah.
Well,
the flag will be there.
The flag will be the one that you really need to look for. If the flag's not there, we're not there. I don't let that thing out of my sight. People know that.
Also, thanks again to the people from the Fury, including Graham Ivory, for helping us in promoting our event and still working with us, as well as Shannon and Melissa from Street Soccer Ottawa, also Street Soccer Canada, for partnering with us and becoming such gracious friends to our supporters club. We really appreciate you for what you're doing, and I'm sure you feel the same way for what we're trying to do for you, so that's why we're making a big push for it.
Don't worry, Melissa, we'll buy you a basket of fries.
Fury season starts.
It might show up cold and with no napkins. Anyway, thank you. That's episode 7 of the Boots, Scarves, and 21 Questions by Bytown Boys SC. Good. Oh, follow us on Twitter at Bytown Boys SC, on Facebook. Find our pages and our group. Thank you once again. Good night.
Night.